Hey guys, we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? We got Sinfuls on here. We got a few other people on here. It lacks a little bit, so it might be behind more like about 10 or whatever. I got some interesting stuff tonight to talk about. Um, talk about Dennis Rodman on here. I don't know if you guys can see. Let's see. It says he has 47 kids in the Philippines. And the name of the article goes like this: "And I am the oldest one." When Dennis Rodman broke down during his Hall of Fame speech, the guy had 47 kids. He fathered 47 kids in the Philippines. Um, wow! And he is talking about his absent father. I don't know how the guy's been around for all his kids. If he's got 47 kids, I'm sure he can't be around for all his kids. And I'm sure they're not in the United States. I'm sure they're probably left over here in some sort of poverty or whatever. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. So we got 13 people on board, 2 thumbs up so far, and we're open for any conversation tonight. Anything you guys want to talk about? One of the things I wanted to talk about was this. This week here, I had a few calls about banks kicking people out, and one of them was um, Experian Bank, I believe, Experian Bank, and the other one was, I think, Bank of America. Another guy told me he had some problems with Charles Schwab. They booted him out. And I've gotten other emails and stuff about Charles Schwab and about a couple of other banks over this past month. So it's something that we need to be worried about. And one way to get around that, and I keep telling people this, is the only way to get around it is to get into a credit union because they go by different rules and they're not as worried about money laundering. Okay. And the banks are worried about money laundering when you're sending money and they see a lot of wire transfers that are over a certain amount. They get worried about that. And one thing that I noticed with some of these guys, and it's not all of them, but most of them, is that they did a giant transfer of like anywhere between 8,000 on up so they could buy a home or build a home or whatever in some of these situations. And that might have been something that sparked them from booting them out. But also with the Charles Schwab things was that they were doing a lot of trades from outside the country, meaning over here, and you can't do those on. Well, you can in some cases, depends on the bank, but they can tell where you are even though you're using like a VPN or something like that. They can tell you're using a VPN, I'll say. And if you're using a VPN, it's a security thing because they're wondering why you're using a VPN, and it's usually because you're from outside the country. And if you're making ATM withdrawals and stuff like that, that's another thing. So we got Sinfuls on. He says, Good day and good evening, all. BT and Betty's Philippines adventure. I've had a problem with MagicApp. It doesn't work here in the Philippines anymore, so don't subscribe to it. I use I don't have it. I'll tell you, I have MagicApp, and it works perfectly fine for me. So you must have something wrong, or you might have to want more. Maybe your subscription ran out, something like that. But that could be the problem. Sinful says BT and Betty's Philippines Adventures. I had the same issue. I've been really lucky with mine. I've never ever had an issue with Magic App at all, except when I was using the Magic Jack thing. But the app on my phone is perfectly good. RC in Jacksonville, any disadvantages of having Social Security send a check to the Philippines banks? I don't think that's an issue as long as you have a bank that's willing to do it. I believe you have to have an American dollar account over here, though, which they do have. They have dollar accounts because they won't transfer it over. But if you send it by Western Union from your bank back home over here into your Philippine bank, they'll transfer it into pesos. So that's just something, but they do charge for that too. Uh, Angelo's, wow, Dennis Rodman had plenty of kids. Soon Pinoy MBA. Good DR. Um, BT and Betty's Philippines events, yeah, it doesn't work in the Philippines anymore. I think if you called them, you might want to call and check on that because I bet you they could get you up and running because I never had any problems with that. And then when I did have a problem setting up in the very beginning, I called them and I know they were very helpful. So you may want to, make a phone call to them and try to get that up and running because I love having MagicApp because I use it for text also. So in the United States, and it's free. TJ says, looks like you got under expensive expat skin. He made a budget response video. He probably is talking about that you can live really cheap over here and stuff like that. But that's you can if your house is paid off or something like that. I know some people they just I don't get mad at somebody. I just do a response, and it's not like I'm ticked off at somebody. I don't know why people get pissed off at people so bad around here about nothing. I guess expats are like that. Simple says, yes, you need a US dollar account in the Philippines to direct deposit. Yeah, I had a problem with it, and people at the bank didn't even know how I could transfer money over here at BDO. I says, well, there must be a way because I know people that are doing it. So just tell me how to do it so I can send it over here. And they had no clue. The people there at BDO are not trained well. BT and Betty's Philippine Adventures already called them, and you still have problems. That's amazing. Michael L. Good evening, see how you doing, Michael? Ang Hubby says, hi, Steve. Enjoyed your last video. Bit of a stargazer myself. That asteroid went over my fiance's place in Cagayan. TJ, you're in Rosario. I heard that's the Compton of Luzon. I'm not in Rosario, so I don't know what you're talking about. So you're wrong. BT and Betty's Philippines Adventures. The answer was sorry, it isn't available in the Philippines anymore, and I'm all. That's weird. I would call them back. I think you just got a bad person there because I'm using mine in the Philippines and I don't have a problem. In fact, I would say probably like about 25 to 50% of the expats here have it and use it over here, and it works fine. And even if you're in a country where it doesn't work well, you can put load on there because I put load on mine to call other countries and stuff. In fact, I'll put it to you this way: if I run out someplace, and as long as I can get data on Wi-Fi, I can make phone calls inside the Philippines by putting a load on there. It's just like I'm calling from the US to the Philippines, and I can use it for that, and I do use it for that sometimes. Sometimes if I run out of load at home here, I was trying to call somebody, I called them from a US my US phone number, added load to it, and but if I call to the US, it's free, obviously, but if I call the Philippines on it because 'cause I'm in the Philippines, it charges me, and it saved me a few times when I didn't have any load. Let's see. TJ, I don't know what your issue is. You're in Rosario. I heard that's why are we making statements like that? Come on. Let's see. BT and Betty's Philippines Adventures just happened 3 days ago. Yeah, I'd call them back. Kirk, hi, Steve. How strict are the health requirements for the SRRV? Um, they reject you probably for STDs and if you have a lung issue. Like if you have AIDS or something like that, they'd probably reject you. No, they check for like lung issues, anything to do with the lung, like TB, stuff like that. They do a urine test, a blood test, and a chest X-ray, and that's it. And I've only seen one person fail, and then they went to a doctor because they had TB before, and they're okay now. So the doctor gave them a note says they're fine. They don't have TB, so they let them in. Not an issue. Um, yeah, you don't have to worry about the SRVs. The SRVs also used to, and I put this out the other day, they used to allow you to write a check, a personal check for your security account, and now you can no longer do that. It has to be wired in, and I'm not sure why they're changing that rule because it's kind of stupid actually. Um, it's kind of strange some of the way that their money rules are here. And some guys are having a problem doing the transfer when they're in country here because the banks are telling them that you have to be back there to do it. So that's the problem. Let me see. PP Conroy, I renewed the tourist visa just last week. Being here 24 months, no issue. Just pay at the next counter. What's all the fuss? Exactly. That's what I said in the beginning. I says I don't think that that's going to be that big of a deal. I and it hasn't been for most people. In fact, when one of the guys asked the guard there if it's that big of a deal, and they both laughed. The guard laughed and looked at each other, and they thought it was funny. You know, they says it's not a big deal. Um, TJ says, I heard the VA is expanding vet care to vets that were exposed to any dangerous chemicals or substances. I got splashed with JP8 fuel in Kuwait. I haven't heard that. And I read just about everything that comes out of the VA. I did read about like the fire pits and stuff like that, but I have not seen anything with dangerous chemicals. They pretty much had that already in there from before. So maybe you're hearing it just now, but that's kind of old news. It's nothing new. It's um did that like most of last year, I think it was. Michael says checks are antiquated and prone to fraud. Yeah, but that's not why they're doing that. That it's some other reason, and we're trying to figure it out. And a lot of people in there are kind of scratching their heads because they're getting a lot of people coming in here, and it's just one thing that's really hard now to get around unless they send the money, and then you have to be here within so many days. Or the bank kicks the money back to the states, and then you have to go back again and try to send it again. So I don't know. Yeah, TJ, it's called the PAC deck. That's old news. That's been going on for a while. That is, Ang Hubby says, Mary Rose mailed me the Bank of Commerce application. And I wired the deposit from the UK before coming over. Yeah, Bank of Commerce is pretty good, but they only hold that money for a certain amount of time. I'm not sure how many days, and then they bounce it back if you don't show up, to open your security account. So I'm not sure how many days they hold it. Mary Rose would know. Philippines, yes, fuels are under Terra, TERA. Simples put the VA government resources thing there. Yes, but it says it's been updated this March, Steve, for the PAC deck. That's interesting. I wonder if they've added some more stuff onto that PAC deck because that's causing a ton of problems financially for the VA because it opened up a whole can of worms, and also it makes it so that a lot of these VAs, they get so much money to help the people that they have. It goes by how many veterans they have in the facility, going into the facility, and if they keep sending all these new people in and stuff like that, they're not going to be able to have all this money. That it's very costly for these people. Angelo Kalima, if you are in America, locate a seafood supermarket. Usually, then they have remittances around like Alice, PMB, BPI, and Huli, a Valak Mine box I use. It has to come from outside. That money has to come from outside the U.S. for the security deposit. It can't come from within the Philippines. That's why you can't pay cash, and that's kind of stupid, but that's the way they are. Simple says, and starting March 5th, 2024, we're expanding VA healthcare to millions of veterans years earlier than called for by the PACT Act. That's I don't even know if the VA can handle that. I mean, right now they handle in the United States, you don't even need insurance. You can just go into any VA and you're well taken care of there. I think that's going to be reeled back as soon as the dollar crashes. Trust me, because they ain't going to have the money to pay all that stuff. There's no way in hell. Philippines PACT Act is included in TERA. Peter and Bowl, I did a cashier's check. Has no problem. You can't do a cashier's check for the security, Peter. Um, at least you can't. Simples maybe not handle it, but it has expanded to more vets. Do checks still work for transfer of funds um, to PI dollar accounts? Yes, heard it took a few weeks, but no less fees for remittance. Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. No issues. Tim says audio is broken up. Is it that bad? Sinfuls, can you hear me fine? Should be fine. Not sure why we'd have any problems with the. Uh, it's choppy. Maybe it'll get better later. Okay, well, hopefully it gets better. Let's see. Let's get some chat up there, guys. We have 43 people on here, 13 thumbs up, guys. So I don't know why is it really bad, Sinfuls? The choppiness? I'll check this out for a second here, guys. Hold up. I hear you fine, Napoleon Magnet says. Okay, signal is intermittently choppy, Michael L. Huh, okay. Let's hope it gets better. Michael L says not bad. Not terrible, but chops here and there. Okay. Well, hopefully it gets better. Yeah, let's get some more chat on it, guys. Jim L, it's a present time five by five. Kyle Sarmentio says, I am new subscriber. There we go. Thank you, Kyle, for joining. Got a lot of new subscribers this week. I'm actually talking with Rich up in Thailand, and we may have some changes coming to the channel soon. We'll see what happens. TJ says, I met a Coastie that's collecting full retirement as a O3 and managed to get 100% disability. He's looking at around 9K per month. There's a lot of guys that get that, actually. You'd be shocked. Sinfuls, you need to try to plug into your router via vehicle via Ethernet cable. Yeah, maybe I could do that some night. Just run it right directly. Napoleon Magnet, 13 AVs. I am on. Let's see. Wait. This message retracted. Okay. Michael Ellis has agreed. Ethernet is better than Wi-Fi any day. Yeah, maybe I can get a big long cable and just plug right into it or something like that. Maybe that would work better. Be more direct. We'll see what happens. As long as it usually last time I think it got better as we went along anyway. So we got 45 people on board and we got 19 thumbs up, guys. Let's get the thumbs up going. You know, that way we get more people in here too. The one thing I'd say about the VA up here is the VA is really, really good on claims going through faster here. A lot of people have experienced that. Um, last last year, it was taking about 2 to 3 months for some claims to go through, which is super crazy fast. Simple says, I'm getting up and heading out at 4:15 a.m. for long ride to Clark. There we go. PP Conroy, can you add a link to the seller in Vietnam for the MRE deals? PP, you can go on eBay, okay, and the guy's on there. There's more than one on there. The guy in Vietnam, he said he doesn't ship here. He ships to the US though, but it does say on this thing that he does, but I don't know why. But there are other sellers on there, and I got one on there. I'm gonna order soon, and it's really super expensive on Lazada. It's $300 for a 30-day supply of food. Napoleon Magnet, 13 AVs, and my wife and I own our house, and I am on the deed. What other financial documents will I need? My wife and I own our house, and I am on the deed. For what, Napoleon? Are you talking about for the SRRV? Because they don't. If you own a house, it doesn't. It's like you have to put the money in the bank first. You know, if that's what you're talking about. I'm trying to. Scratch says, "Hello, Steve. What do you know about applying for Social Security retirement here in the Philippines?" You just go to the Social Security window. It's very simple. You have to call and get an appointment, I believe. Now, it used to be you could walk right in there and go see them. Now you have to make an appointment to go in there. It's very simple to do. Because they have a window, and there were several people that work in there, so they'll take you right in there. You can even apply online. Michael L, just like houses used to be wired for the phone lines. I have my house wired with Cat 6 and RJ45 jack. Sinfuls, Napoleon Magnet just have ability to show your pension income. Yeah, it depends on what you're doing. I mean, as far as your security deposit, that's got to be a deposit, physical deposit. You can't put a house up. Napoleon Magnet, 13 A visa. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really up on the 13 A visas at all, Napoleon. That's one thing we're not. We usually just do the SRRV visas. That's what I help people with. I know a lot of people they ask me about the 13 A's. I'm not really the person to talk to about that one at all. Sorry. TJ, we have people on here that have done it. You can ask the question and see if somebody will answer you. TJ, is it Chinese shenanigans that's causing this recent visa scrutiny? No, I don't think that's what's causing it. I think there's a lot of shenanigans going on with people in some of the BIs, and they want to try to stop that, I think. and is we'll see what happens. Lazy Larry Lee says, "Hello, Steven Sinfuls. How you doing, Lazy Larry?" Michael L. Napoleon 13A equals SRRV. SRRV is the way to go because if you go through a divorce or something like that, you can at least stay here on the SRRV. Simple Scratch, you can also do SS via online to their website. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Then the FBU from the embassy will call you for a telephone appointment. Simple says he is doing 13A. There is no deposit. Okay, yeah, there's no deposit for that then. Total cost is about 8,600 PHP. Yeah, if he was doing SRRV, there's definitely be a security deposit. The house ain't gonna matter, I don't think. That ain't gonna come into play. Scratch says thank you. Michael L means not equal to. Okay. TJ, looks like World Zoom is going into attack mode on the Philippines. Yeah, somebody was a guy up in Thailand was trying to link me in with him. And it was a guy that got kicked out of our group, and for some reason he was trying to link me in with him because I read the article, and that's all I did was read the article. And he says I was the one who turned him in, which I thought was kind of funny. And I never turned that guy in. So I don't know. In fact, I have an idea who turned him in because somebody told me, but I ain't gonna say it on here. But it wasn't me. Anyway, yeah, World Zoom. He's living in his mom's house, I guess. So, I mean, I get nothing against the guy. I mean, I just got pissed off about his stolen valor stuff, and he keeps denying that, but it was written in the article. Michael L. WZ has been banned. World Zoom has been banned from Thailand and Philippines. Where will he go next? He'll probably go to Belize or something like that. That's usually the third. Belize or Costa Rica or Nicaragua or something. Napoleon says, "Thank you, all of you, for your information." No problem, Napoleon. TJ says, I heard it was Mike and Duma. I'm not. I have an idea because somebody told me, but I'm not totally sure it's true. So I don't want to throw something out there and then not be true, and I don't think it's fair to anybody. I mean, if they turned them in, they turned them in. It was legit. So Rick Sponge says, "Hi Stevie, I might be good to do a video on the falling dollar. We could see sub 50 in the next year or two. Major impact for lower budget folks." Yeah, I'm starting to think by November, before November, we're gonna have a crash of which might actually help Trump. Um, Michael S. says, "I heard it was Mark." Kirk says, "Does Rich have a channel yet?" No, he does not yet. He's waiting for some camera stuff, and we'll see what happens. TJ, that's right, Mark and Duma. Sinful says, "Soon I think he will." Yeah, there's gonna be some changes on my channel. I'm not ready to put it out there yet. What's gonna happen? But I think eventually I'm gonna slow down a little bit. I'll still be doing videos probably. I'm not sure yet even of that, but there's gonna be some changes, and I definitely want to start doing other things besides doing YouTube all the rest of my life. But I will do. I think I'll still be doing YouTube. A little bit. Um, I'm still going to do the dinners and still help people with the SRVs. I just won't be going up to do the SRVs anymore. Probably after March. But it's not written in stone yet. So I'm still servicing all kinds of people right now for those. Um, let's see. San Shikurudo. Hey, Steve, did you see the first video about? Yeah, we don't even want to talk about that guy. That guy was the guy that we kicked out of our group, and the guy's actually challenged. Let's put it that way, because what he said happened was not what happened. So we'll just say that, and anybody that was around here knows the truth. Well, the reason the peso is getting stronger is the Philippine Central Bank is raising interest rates. Let's see. TJ says, "I hope Trump actually prepares for this upcoming debate." I was just reading an article about him the other day, and they put him at like one of the top 10 debaters or something like that, because he's really good at debating, and he just beats the people into the ground. And he really is a good debater when you think about it, because he has the remarks coming back. He knows how to just pound somebody in the ground, and I don't think she has that quality. In fact, it's gonna be funny with a man going up against a woman because I think she's gonna use that, you know? We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. So, yes, he did, but we prefer not to discuss him. But, yeah, we're not even gonna talk about these other idiots out there, the other guy too, you know? There's a lot of people out there when they and this is the thing with Philippine vloggers, and I'll say this straight out there, is that a lot of Philippine vloggers, if they hate somebody, they use their channel to get back at somebody, and I don't think that's a good use of your channel at all. You know, this channel here has really never, ever mentioned many names of anybody or anything. We've never tried to do something to go after somebody and use a whole video for that, you know, and that's what some of these people do, and it's unfortunate. Let's see, TJ, she'll cackle hysterically when he corners her in the debate. Probably, who knows? You know, we try to stay off the political stuff though. 'Cause we have a mix of people on here, so we usually just try to stick to the Philippine stuff. See, our Alexander Trump is a businessman. He is a great debater. Yes, John Lennon said the best president would be a businessman, and you can actually look that up. He did say that. Sinfuls, the debate will be unwatchable with her, but still entertaining. I don't know how entertaining it's gonna be. I think he's gonna crunch her, you know. And I think after the debate, I think you're gonna actually see some of the people that are kind of on the fence. And they've said that most of the people out there that are kind of between now are bending more towards Trump, and Trump also polls just for the record. He polls 4 points below all the time usually because a lot of people don't want to say that they're going to vote for Trump because then people poke fun of him and stuff like that, which is what they do. Um, Let me see. Joey says, "Hi, Steve. I want to bring my dog to the Philippines." Joey, the person to talk to about that is Sinfuls. He can tell you how to do that. Um, Sinfuls, yes, that's why it'll be entertaining crunching her. He definitely will. Sinfuls, Joey, it can be done. I did it. It's not that big of a deal to bring a dog in here. Sinfuls knows more about that, and you can talk to Sinfuls and ask him on here. He can write on there or put a link there on how to do that or whatever. It's really not that hard. I've heard from several people that have brought their pets here. The guy next door brought his pet here, didn't have any problems, and there was these companies that charge a lot of money, and the guy next door said it didn't cost him hardly anything at all. That he was coming from Hawaii over here, and he has a little like a hot dog, hot dog type of what do they call them, dachshund or something like that. But they're little ones that with the short legs. Uh, he says, Joey, what breed of dog? Joey, I want to bring Miniga, but I don't want him to get hurt in transport. I think they're pretty safe with the dogs. This dog here is an older dog, and it got over here okay. PP Conroy says, there's a recession coming in the US and Europe in the next 12 months. I think within the next 3 months, you will want to earn in dollars and euros. Interest rates will go up maybe 2 points. Nobody will want to pay or buy only up from here. Um, I think you're wrong about that. I think people will want pesos. Um, that's my thoughts. I think people will want pesos and get out of the dollars because the dollar is going to crash. Mr. Slick 66 is on board. Let's see, Steve. I heard Trump mention he will make Social Security tax free as an independent. If that's true, I'm in. I did hear him say that, and he also said he wants to make it so that waitresses don't have to pay taxes on their tips, which is a really good thing. TJ, I hope crypto pumps. I'm all in on Actually, they said crypto crashed today a lot, and they expect it to crash more for whatever reason. All right, Alexander Jones, buy gold and silver. I bought a gold necklace just as a safety measure. It's something you can just carry on your neck and wear. You know, I think it's a good idea to have. If you need to get out of here quick, you can go into a Julia or something like that and sell it, and you have a plane ticket back home. God forbid something bad happens, you know? And I think the next year is gonna be a very strange year. The next year and 6 months is gonna be and it might be longer than that. I think we're gonna see some really heavy duty things happening coming up soon. You can feel it, you know? Sinful says, "Mr. 666, that's his goal that he wants." Michael L. European Bank of England has cut interest rates. Fed will soon cut interest rates. Simple says no taxes on tips. Yeah. Joey says me is very feisty. Oh, he is a Rottweiler. Simple says I'm here. I'm here. My wife and dog here. Okay. TJ, is it possible to charter a boat to get there off the islands quickly? No, not that I know of. You know, there are ways to travel on cargo ships. A lot of people don't know that. You can get a ride on a cargo ship, but you have to eat their food. Um, and you know, the rooms are not that fancy. But cargo ships, there is ways to travel on cargo ships, but it's not enjoyable. Let's see. R. Alexander Jones says, "I'm coming to the Philippines next week. What travel insurance should I get?" I'm not sure. I know a whole bunch of them out there that used to have the name of one of them that a friend of mine used. He used it many times for treatment with his with cancer and stuff like that. And it was a lot of money, and they paid the bill in full. You know, so if make sure it's just a good one. I would go online, just say rated. Who's the top rated travel insurance? Just Google that. So it says sure there is Alice Gao. Yeah, is she back in country right now? I heard that she was here or something like that, or on the way or something. 666 as sinful as that would be a game changer. SY says, "Hi, Steve. I'm considering a move to the Philippines and would like to start out in the Manila area, but don't think BG's and Makati are for us. What do you think about places like Eastwood or Newport? Mm, How about Alabang? You know, if you're looking for a nice place, how about Alabang? I don't know that much Eastwood. I don't know about Newport. I've been in that area. I would say look into Alabang because Alabang has many, many great places there. The air is cleaner. It's and just check it out. Look up Alabang. Sinful is yes. It would be great, Mister 66. And he also says yes. She was arrested in Indonesia and brought back. But TJ, say I run afoul of some powerful people. Can I hire a speedboat to get me safely? I doubt it. Michael L says Indonesia captured her and sent her back to Manila. PP Conroy, don't live east where traffic is terrible. Michael L says I am surprised she did not flee back to the PRC. Yeah, I was kind of surprised she didn't take off for China or Hong Kong or something. PP Conroy, try San Juan. I would look in Alabama because you can get all levels there. There's all different types of places to stay there, and it depends on how close you are to downtown. Um, and you might think of downtown, that's going to be like Manila. No, it's not. It's like you're in like some American city, like Houston or something like that. It's really beautiful there. Sinful says, "Come to New Valley. It's clean, green, and open." Um, Mugs Bill says you should make more videos about the toxic culture in the Philippines, like their crab mentality, character assassination, gossiping, correlate that how poor everything there is in the PH. Mugs Bill, we've already covered that probably 3 times over. Anybody that watches the channel knows that we've covered all that stuff: character assassination, crab mentality. We talked about that, gossiping, all that stuff. If you go back on my videos, I got 1,500 videos, and I'll say this: the crowd mentality, we probably did 3 videos on that. Character assassination, probably about 5 times. Gossiping, probably like 2 or 3 times. So we got videos that we covered that. We bring it up every once in a while and talk about things that have happened both to me and to other people here, and it's it's pretty common. Sadly, it's just one of those things that happens. The crab mentality, that also happens with expat Filipinas and Filipinos. The character assassination is more likely to happen from expats and the gossiping. Filipinos and Filipinas are really big on that, but that even happens in the expat community and happens back in the US, but it's pretty big here. Gossip is a really huge thing in the Philippines. Let's see, we got 63 people and 30 thumbs up. Give me some more thumbs up, guys, so we can get some more people on here too. That helps push us out there more when we're doing a live stream. The more thumbs up we have, the more people will join in because then YouTube pushes it out there. So let's get some more chat on here, guys. We were talking earlier, if you guys had just joined us, um, about what's his name there? Dennis Rodman. He's got 47 Filipino kids in the Philippines, which I thought was kind of interesting. And it says something about Dennis Rodman broke down during his Hall of Fame speech. So it doesn't. I couldn't read more because it brings you to one of these sites you gotta pay for. But I just thought that was kind of interesting. Dennis Rodman has 47 kids. Um, Simple is glad we have dried out, been missing riding. Yeah, actually, here it's starting to finally dry out, which is good. Slick66 says one of the funniest things I ever heard you say on an older video is when moving to the Philippines, bring a bug zap, a big one. Hello, how are the bugs? I actually have bug zappers in the house. I have right here. See if I can get it on screen here. Let's see. And you wouldn't think that a bug would go off in the house much, but you get like these little like gnat bugs and fruit fly things that fly around once in a while. And it doesn't matter where you are. You could be in the city or what have you, and they just kind of fly around. And this thing here, I hear it zapping in the night every once in a while. I always see something, but we don't see them. They're just flying around, and I rarely ever see them. It zaps mosquitoes when they come in the house when we open the doors too. And I have a bigger one in the kitchen that's up on the wall, and I put it on at night when we're sleeping, and it gets all any fruit flies or anything. In the morning. We don't have anything in the house. Um, Michael else says Dennis Rodman needs a vasectomy. No kidding, huh? TJ, Dennis Rodman's father had 23 in the Philippines. That's crazy. TJ, I think his father was in the service. Slick66 says, holy crap. Let's see, Mugs, developed nations has those problems, but developed nations has enough competence to have a more civilized society compared to the Philippines. I would say that the Philippines is pretty civilized. Um, Lazy Larry says, Steve, I have a bug zapper in my apartment in the USA. I think everybody should have one, especially these little ones. It doesn't look like the light works on it, but actually the light works really, really good on it because the bugs go to it all the time during the night and even during the day. I hear them zapping in there all the time, and then we find the bugs in there, but we don't see them flying around. Randy Solano says, Steve, miss your walks in the park and your vlogs out and about. Yeah, I wish I could do more of those, but I don't get down to the park too much, and they don't take care of that park as much as they used to. And my friend that used to run the park, he just passed away from a stroke. So it's they moved him to a different job. But yeah, I go walking at the mall now, and they won't let me videotape in there. Otherwise, I would do like walk and talks, which would be quite interesting. Maybe someday I'll try to get out soon and try to do one. Simple says Philander Rodman Jr., an Air Force enlisted member who later fought in the Vietnam War. When he was young, his father left his family, eventually settling in the Philippines. Let's see. John Fetchko, we have bug in Florida. No Siams. Sinful says, notice father's name Philander. Yeah, it's a good name for him, huh? Let's see. DJ, I put one of those bug sprays in my toilet. Love it. Bum sprayers. Okay, bum sprayers. Actually, I I heard somebody talking about those one time on a commercial, which I thought was kind of funny. They have them right in the toilet seat. You just press a button and it sprays you. It's better than those other things. Those things be filthy. John living in the Philippines just joined in. How you doing, John? Good to see you on here. We got we got um 5 people, 5 new people moving to the street this coming month. And we got one moving in, one or two that just one's just can't. I think he was here tonight. I think he was talking to my girlfriend, and one's coming on Monday, and the other ones are coming during the month when those apartments are all totally done. So we got a really big group coming here soon. We'll see how that works out. So we're gonna have quite a lot of people in town here. We have a lot of new people here in town. Some of the people haven't even introduced themselves to me yet, and later, I see them when I run into them in the mall. I say, "Hey, Steve, the other reason why I'm here." But there's a lot of people coming. This is like five almost at once, which is quite a lot. Let's see. Napoleon Magnus says we have no CM in Rhode Island. Mugsville, people getting killed here and being reported. I don't know. I don't hear about that many people get killed in the Philippines really that often. Sinful's Mr. Slick Steve fit on the back of my bike. Also, he would not ride with me if he could. LOL. No, I'm not a big biker. 666 says above. I didn't read it yet. You should do a blog on the back of Sinful's motorcycle cruising around the Philippines. Yeah, I don't think I want to ride bitch with somebody though. So not my thing. That's what we used to call it when I was younger, riding bitch. Let's see. 666 is Sinful's LMAO. Laughing my ass off. Lazy Larry says, Mr. Big Slick 66. Sinful's has a channel and rides around. Yeah, he does have his own channel. Actually, he should probably do that. He'd probably get a lot of followers here in the Philippines just riding along. Guy says, Do Tracy, Perez, Dumagetti, and Cebu get flooded during the rainy season? I would think that Dumagetti has some flooding, maybe. Tracy does not, because we're 423 feet up. I'm not really sure about Cebu. I'm not that knowledgeable about Cebu. I've been at Dumagetti during a rainstorm, and it looks like a place that would get flooded. I didn't see any flooding happening when I was there because it wasn't raining that much. But Dumagetti's kind of flat, so I would think that the water does back up in some places. Napoleon Magnus says, I had a reticulated python 1 meter long come my drain in the bathroom. In the Philippines, Napoleon? Let's see. Sinful says, yeah, Cebu and City floods. They have a lot of fires down there in Cebu, man, like with those squatters areas. TJ, you don't want Steve wrapping his arms around your waist and nuzzling his on your neck. Yeah, I don't think he wants that. I don't even think I want that. Sinful says, LOL. Nope. Napoleon Magnet. Yes, 2 weeks ago. That's crazy, man. Let's see. Simple says, I remove my rear footrest. Solo ride bike. Well, you still got do you have another bike, Sinfuls? 666, Lazy Larry Lee. Yes, I subscribe. See, so yeah, Cebu does flood. Then I never. That's good to know. I remember they had that big fire. What was it like 2 years ago or something like that? Sinfuls planning on another. What are you gonna get? Like a bigger bike or a smaller? Or get one for Pam. That's his wife, guys. Sinfuls loves riding his bike. He's got a really, really nice bike. So we got 59 people on here. I have 44 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Sinful says, I'm going to Cebu Wednesday to donate blood for an expat. That's right, too. You were telling me about that. TJ says, so Alabang is the spot. Alabang is really good. Anybody that's been in Alabang, or even if you haven't been to Alabang, I'll say this. You're going to be like pleasantly surprised because it's almost like a Western. It's almost like Makati or BGC, only nicer. It seems more like you're going in Houston or something like that, and it's like a nice downtown where you can ride your bicycle. Actually, they have bicycle trails. Wayne Zane Underwood says, Steve Sinfuls, Michael L, and everyone in the chat. Good morning from the Pacific Northwest. How you doing, Zane? Sinful said before that my other bike will be an adventure bike, bigger. There we go. Sinful says Alabang is nice, but gets crowded in traffic. I don't know. When I've been there, I've never really seen that bad of traffic. I know downtown does get that, but if you're on the outside and you live on the outside, it's not that bad. Mr. 666, do they have the three-wheeled Harley bikes in the Philippines? I'd love to have one of those for cruising. I have saw one of those only once in the Philippines, actually. Simples, here in New Valley, I have all Lang has, but open areas, green and cleaner. If you're on the upper northern part of Alabama, though, it's very green and there are open areas. Sinful says, "Hi Zane." Lazy Larry says, "Sinfuls posted that posted the other day that it is a buy your husband a new bike month." There we go. Slick 66 says, "I think the wife would actually ride on that." Mugsbill says, "No offense, Steve, but I think some of your videos are a little misleading, like your video about erectile dysfunction. I don't know how that can be misleading, you know." Sinfuls, Slick 66, yes, they have, but would be a pain in the traffic. Um, yeah, we have a lot of guys over here with that issue. I'm not gonna really get on that subject. It's not one of my favorite subjects. Um, I'm lucky I don't have to suffer from that. Let's see. Michael L says, "I am going to drop off, not feeling well, going to get some sleep." Hey, have a good night, Michael. Thanks for joining us tonight, for helping with the moder. Um, I slice traffic with my bike like a let's see, make a heart covers the word. Like a Ginsu chef. There we go. Bye, Michael. Feel better, Sinful says. Um, let's see. Lazy Larry. Michael L. Have a good night's sleep. It's something that a lot of guys talk about. What to get back to the erectile dysfunction thing there. A lot of guys suffer from that, and a lot of guys are on the blue pills over here, or they take testosterone. We have a few people that take testosterone shots too. So that's something that helps a lot of people, and some guys take nitrous oxide capsules. So all three of those will help you. And there's other stuff too. Let's see. Sinful. One of the guys here just said renewing his tourist visa, no issues. Yeah, that's not even an issue. People are still worried. You do go on that list, but it's not that big of a deal, they said. They said you can still stay 36 months. If you're here and you're visiting somebody as a tourist, and you just tell them, say, I'm visiting here, I'm just a tourist here. I'm traveling around and seeing things, and I'm dating a girl here, but nothing serious yet. I'm trying to check it out. They'll keep on redoing you for 36 months, no issues, no problems. Um, Simple, Simple says it's getting blown out of proportion. Everybody says that. Mr. 666, Sinful as well. I'd like one for long traveling and one used like a Ginsu knife. LOL. TJ says erectile dysfunction. I heard that story on Old Dog about the wheelchair patient looking for a Filipino to tamper his backside. John Fetchko, ED cure, young Filipino. Yeah, that'll solve it. You know. Um, but there is a lot of guys that come over here with that issue, and I'm not sure why they come here when they have that issue. Because I'm sure it must be hard. Well, actually, it's probably not hard, but it must be difficult, I should say. You know, um, to try to date people and you have that issue. You know, Simple says, Mr. 666. That's why I am getting an adventure bike, but my wife can ride on that. My current bike is not comfortable for passenger. John, living in the Philippines, we about 5 months ago to go back to the U.S. after 7 years, and they are telling me it's average of 18 months for approval. It's crazy watching me and crossing the border the last 4 years. The last 4 years. Sai says, ever been up to Row House City? If so, what do you think about it? I haven't been in that area. I probably passed through that area, but it's not an area that I'm that familiar with. Okay, I'm gonna call this guy Z because I can't pronounce his name if I even tried. Do you have to worry about home break-ins or hid valuables when you're not there? No, no. My neighborhood here is all expats. I have two expats living next to me, and we're gonna have another four living right up top here pretty soon. And I don't think there'll ever be any break-ins here, and I got double locks on, and my windows got bars on there, so there's no issue. And usually when I leave my house, I have somebody stay here. Either it's my girlfriend's kids or whatever, and there's just no concerns. There's not much here to steal either, except a bunch of harmonicas. So that if they want harmonicas, good luck to them. There's a few guitars hanging on the wall, but on that, there's not much in here. So who else we got on here? We got 63 people now, 46 thumbs up, guys. Simple says I have four-legged protection. Also, I live in a nice gated community, so no concerns from me. If I go home, we won't even lock the house. Sinful's, it'd be entertaining for someone to try to get into my house. Yes, Sinful's dog, unless he's with Sinful's, he would probably he would probably go after you, because he's very protective of both him and his wife. So it's might be good to have a dog in your house too. I have a dog up top here, and the dog, if the dog knew something was going on here, he'd probably rip them apart too. Watson's usually pretty friendly, but if he knows there's an issue, he'll bite you. You know. Sinfuls. I have four-legged protection. Also, let's see, we already read that one. I guarantee she would. Yeah, she. I keep saying he. I don't know why. So let's get some more chat on here, guys. Got 62 people on here, 49 thumbs up. We're 51 minutes in. So so I got somebody writing to me on here. Berto Seth, plus 26C, 4 p.m. right now. Annie and I have today barbecue and island hopping. Bowling, still got summer weather, and chili pepper and cucumber growing well in our garden. Greetings, Annie and Berto. That's the guy's from Sweden, guys. He's a really nice guy. Berto's like the friendliest guy you could ever meet, and he comes over here once in a while. We try to meet whenever we can. I think last time he came, I couldn't meet with him because we were kind of stuck, but we did meet with him one of the times. And really nice gentleman from Sweden. I actually have some family over there. I have my niece over there, and I have a lot of cousins and stuff over there too. So he's saying that the weather's really nice. Let's get some more people on here though, guys. We'll try to do another half an hour if possible. If we can get some more conversation on here. But to get back to the thing that we were talking about in the beginning, we were talking a little bit about the dollar crash, guys. And from what I'm reading is that they're saying that the dollar crash has already started, and they think within the next month we're gonna start seeing it. And usually when the dollar crashes, it just doesn't happen all like in one day, and all of a sudden the dollar's lost all its value. It takes like a while for that to happen. And I think with the amount of money that the United States owes, in order for that to become feasible for them to pay back, the dollar will have to fall a lot in devalue, and we'll be paying them back in devalued dollars is what's going to happen, which is kind of scary when you think of it. Let's see. Simple says, I think if Trump gets elected, the dollar will gain strength again. I think we're kind of in a place where we're going to have to go through something, though. The question is how deep. Neil F. Williams, nothing RB can handle, just a Rafi Tofel, LOL. But I'm not sure what will happen. I mean, I think the dollar's gonna take a good shaving one way or the other. He wants to do a thing where we have somebody in charge of all the spending, and I think that's a good idea because paying thousands of dollars for toilet seats and stuff like that is just ridiculous. PP Conrad, I never like telling someone that they're wrong, but let's see, Mr. 666, USA is announcing the Fed may drop interest rates 0.25%, not that much difference, but in the right direction. PP Conrad, it's on the up trend. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It's going to play out soon, and I guarantee you, I think this is my thoughts on it, that we're going to see this happen before the election. And if it happens before the election, I think that's going to be a fit in the hat to Trump more so. Um, Lazy Larry Lee, I hope that the peso doesn't drop much below 50. And that's going to be an interesting thing to watch too, is how that plays out, the exchange rate. The question is the peso and anything that's tied to the dollar, is that going to go down too? Because it could. Simple says stay above 50. If it's 50 or above, or 49 or above, I think the majority of Americans here are still in a good spot. Z says, is the weather there similar to Florida? I lived in South Carolina, and I've been down to Florida too. And Florida is very similar to South Carolina and Georgia and North Carolina. And I'll say this is that I think it was actually muggier back in South Carolina than it is here. Muggs Bill says, I think a lot of men here conflate a transactional relationship with a good faith relationship. Probably true. A lot of guys here, I think they're too dumb to figure out that the girl is after them just for their money. There's a lot of girls here that are really after you for the money, but you can tell when a girl's really in love with you because she's just all over you. And if it's a transactional relationship, she's just kind of sits by the side and yeses you to death. And once in a while she'll give you a hug and gives you whatever it needs, whatever you need to keep you happy, and that's about it. And I think a true blue Filipino that's in love with you really is like right on top of you, like quite often, and hugging you and kissing you and all that stuff. And I'm fortunate that I have that my relationship, and I've been through other relationships here and before I even came here with other Filipinas. And I will say this, that the relationship I'm in now is probably the best relationship I've ever been in. Really nice lady, takes care of me tremendous, looks out for me, and I have everything I could ever ask for. Napoleon Magnet, that's why I moved out of New England, because impossible to live off of Social Security with taxes so high. Yeah, that's why I moved out too. So, I wanted to retire at 55, and there was no way I could retire there. And that's the reasons why I came here. Sergeant USA 90, where's the best place to get the exchange rate? Um, the best place would be, I think, Bank of Commerce in Makati is really good. Discerning Dash, hello Steve. When you go live, can you please put topics so I know what you're talking about, because I go watch your old lives, but they do not have a topic. We don't have any really set topic, Dash. We just talk about whatever we want to talk about. There is no real topics. We're open. It's open to anything that anybody wants to talk about. And that same goes for tonight. Lazy Larry Lee, I dated an American woman who paid the most attention to me if there were other women. That's funny. Yeah, a lot of women in the United States, it's they don't dote on their men. It's not something that American women do, and Filipinas will if they're really into you. Sinful says, discerning dash. The topic is all over generally. Yeah, we go all over the place with our topics on here. That's why are there high-rise condos in Tracy, Ontario? Yeah, they're behind the mall, but they're not really high-rise. They're pretty high. What are the average rent prices there for a two-bedroom Western style place? Probably about 200, 220, 180, somewhere in around there. You can get one bedrooms here for $80 and 3,000 and $60. Um, the apartments across the street are studios, and they're actually going up now to 120, I think. They're starting to rent them out to new people. So rents are going up, you know. Um, Discerning Dash, I see. I go watch your olds, but I do not watch which to watch. You can watch any of them. All of them are pretty good information there from the different chats we have. Kirk, how is healthcare in the Philippines regarding prostate? Um, they're pretty good with the prostate here, because they have a lot of men here, so they have to take care of that stuff. If I think if you go over to De La Salle or St. Luke's, I think you're well taken care of. If you go to hospital. It's not that you're gonna have problems. Simple as Kirk, can Kirk, you can go to bigger hospitals in Manila and sure to get care. Yes, discerning and what you're saying, Steve. Now when was my girlfriend when I was in the Philippines, she would be kissing me and touching me, holding my hands. It would always be hugging me, so you will know a Filipino love you. There's there's nothing further from the truth than that. If the girl really cares for you here in the Philippines, she's gonna be all over you. She's gonna do anything for you because she really cares for you. She's gonna be cooking for you. She's gonna be doing back rubs for you. She's gonna be doing your laundry. She's gonna be helping you around things, doing anything she can do to help you. Um, like with me in the morning, I can't walk in the morning because of my sciatica, and I struggle to get into the bathroom and take a shower, and by then my medicine starts kicking in a little bit. But when I walk out, I'm still not able to lift my left leg really high, so I have a hard time getting my pants and underwear on, and she has to help me with that in the morning. And you know, an American woman probably wouldn't do that. I just don't see that happening. Maybe they would if you had the right woman. But not every woman would do that. So, Simple says, Mugsbill, that's why I prefer marriage. It's been 18 years. Dash says, sciatica sucks. I know what you're going through. I mean, good days and bad days sometimes, but when my bad days are here, I need physical help in the morning, until the medicine kicks in. Once my back and muscles warm up and my leg gets going, I'm good for the rest of the day till evening. But by evening time, my muscle relaxing medicine is wearing off and I'm starting to feel it settle back in. By the time I wake up in the morning, it's all gone. And even during the night, and I struggle to sleep because I have no medicine in me. So, Sergeant USA 90 folks should watch the videos. 666 is one thing is do not cross your Philippine. No, they're extremely jealous. He says that's very true. We've done jealousy videos about that before, talking about the Filipinos. And let me tell you something. They don't want anybody touching you, going near you, even if you break off with them for like at least 3 to 6 months, if longer, because they want a chance to try to get back into your life again. And you got to be careful because they can be dangerous. Neil says peso is a 55.60 at the airport. That's really low. Discerning Dash, do you think the shot that is what I take, but it's temporary relief though. I'm not big into shots for what I got. Alexander Jones, I had that really bad. Part of it, Alexander, is weight. And I need to lose a little bit of weight, and the doctor says that'll help me. It won't. But I got to do something. John, living in the Philippines in my complex in Quezon City, has 6 high-rise buildings, 40 stories each, swimming pools and a gym. Yeah, some of those places are fairly nice in Quezon City, but Quezon City itself is just, I don't know, I hate to say it's a dump, but it is. I mean, street filthy. It's they have nice places there for the wealthy people, like the malls and stuff like that are nice there. They have beautiful malls in Quezon City, but the neighborhoods there are just the armpit of the world. Lazy Larry says, discerning Dash. Just remember when you are in Steve's live stream, ask Steve whatever you want to know. Yeah, if you guys have a question, just pop it up there. we that's what we're here for tonight. Ari Alexander Jones, me too. Yeah, he says also it's hard to lose the weight. That's one thing, it is hard. I mean, they have those weight loss medicines, but I'm not sure how safe those are until like they've been out for like a year or two, and then you start hearing, recalls because it causes cancer or something like that. I mean, it's just a matter of getting out walking and not eating as much and exercising and stuff. And that's hard because over here I'm actually more busy here than when I was working back home. Part of it is the channel and helping people. Size seems rent prices and Tracy Martinez are a lot lower than places like Getty. Why is that? It's kind of an anomaly, Cy. I mean, this neighborhood here is cheap and all throughout Tracy, with the exception of Hope Residences. Hope Residences is like 500 up, 400 and up, somewhere around there. You know, it'll be higher for a furnished one, and for unfurnished, you can get them for about 400, I think. Um, and Dash says, "Thanks, Larry. I'll ask. It's just a lot of time. I can't make I can't make live stream, so I watch the replays a lot." Dash says, "Steve, walking a lot, eating less calories, and eating healthy, less carbs will help lose weight." That's what I did. Yeah, I gotta. One thing is when you're always busy, you're always grabbing food and snacking or something like that, and that's me. You know, I'm always doing something. Either I'm on a harmonica practicing or doing a course online. I just finished doing courses. I'm doing a course for guitar too, and you're always grabbing a soda or something like that. You know, and that's what I gotta try to watch out. I'm not a person that grabs water. I don't like drinking water. I just don't like the taste. Let's see. Steve, walking a lot less. This is Dash. This calories, healthy, less carbs will help lose weight. That's what I did. Says Dad, only the live chats repeat topics from Steve's videos. Randy Solana, what beach destination are you traveling to next? I think I'm going back to Sikihor, to be honest with you. I'm actually looking down there, possibly going down there a lot more. I really liked it down in Sikihor. Richard Stewart, Steve, great channel, but not to correct you. Alabang is pronounced different from the way you say it. Just ask your girlfriend. She says Alabang too. How to pronounce it. Also, Batangas is pronounced the same way. Lazy Larry, I finally got off drinking Cokes. That's a tough thing to do, man. For me, I got, you know, um, simple as Lazy Larry Lee. Excellent. That's my issue is Coca-Cola, and I noticed my stepfather, he had diabetes. I have pre-diabetes, and that was his weakness is Coca-Cola, and I see that in my family. With my uncle was the same way. My uncle had diabetes. My other uncle had diabetes, and it was Coca-Cola that was the issue. You know, and it's a hard habit to break because I don't like coffee, but I like the caffeine rush. If I don't have that caffeine in me, and I'm a mess. I'm tired. It's because I have insomnia at night. It's not from that, because if I don't have that, I can't sleep. You know. Kirk, speaking of taking walks, is Tracy Myers walkable? Are there walkable cities around the Manila area? Alabang's a very walkable place to go. Very, very walkable. Um, they have parks there and places you can walk. Tracy has a park here you can walk. There's actually two parks you can walk in. Simple as I don't drink soda except maybe at restaurants to avoid the local water-based drinks. Simple says Kirk, BGC and Alabang. Yeah, BGC actually has I know about it. BGC is actually very, very walkable. Makati is too, you know, but there's a lot of pollution in Makati. Makati, there's too many cars, maybe down the side paths and stuff like that. But you know, BGC just seems clean and Alabang too. Lazy Larry says in the morning I drink coffee and I drink unsweetened green tea. That's something I should probably get into is this unsweetened green tea. That's good for preventing cancer and a lot of other things too. It's actually good for your prostate, and there's a few other things it's good for too. Um, and chamomile is really, really good for you too. A lot of people don't understand that chamomile is really good for you, especially as you age. It is a lot of benefits of chamomile tea. I can't remember what they were. There was something I was looking at the other day, and they said chamomile tea is good for people over 60. So, but green tea was also on that list, and it said what it's good for. PP Conrad, can I ask you? One of the things was insomnia. Can I ask you where you lived in the Philippines and how long you've lived here, please, sir? I live I live here for the past almost 7 years in Tracy Martirez, 20 miles outside of Manila. Um, I've been to other islands, like I've been to Iloilo, been to Antique, I've been to Boracay, I've been down to Sikihor and Dumaguete and places like that, and I've been up north there quite a lot too. Um, I don't really have an interest to go to most of the other islands for some reason. I like Sikihor. My friend Susan took me there, and I fell in love with the place, and I really, really like it a lot. A lot of people should take a look at Sikihor because um, it's clean, it's nice, it's kind of untouched in a way because you can ride around there on a motorcycle or a bicycle and feel safe, like nobody's going to run you over in a truck or something or a jeepney, and that's what I liked about Sikihor. Um, Simple says prostate. What's that? LOL. Constantine says, "Greeting, comrades. How you doing, Constantine? Welcome aboard." Let's see, we're about an hour and 10 minutes in, so we got about another 10 to 20 minutes. Probably we'll go. Probably we'll see. Maybe 15 minutes. We'll see. We got a lot of people, 60 people, so we're doing good. Let's just keep the conversation going, guys. But Randy was asking me what beach destination you're trying to. I think I'm still gonna go back to Sikihor. I like that place, Cocoa Grove. Cocoa Grove was really nice. Brock is on board. There we go. Good morning, Steve. I just got back from morning walk, 46 Fahrenheit today. Winter is coming. Very Mark, he's back. He's back in the States, but he was living here for a while. And he went back because of an illness or whatever. Hopefully, he gets back here again. He's one of our regular followers here. He's been on here, I think, probably like 3 or 4 years. I think somewhere around there. Is that right, Prairie Mark? It's been a long time. So, yeah, it's starting to get cold back home. People are telling me too. Even up in Massachusetts, a little bit cooler anyway. And it's coming early because usually on Labor Day weekend you have a lot of hot weather or warm weather and stuff like that. And they says it's getting chilly at night already. Let's see. Sai says, do you know if there are private elementary schools in TM for expats? And how much does it cost to send your child to a private school? Private schools are all over. They're all over, Tracy, and they're not that expensive. I don't know what I couldn't tell you what the costs are. I know they're very, very inexpensive because even some of the poorer people send their kids to the private schools, so it's very inexpensive. See. Lazy Larry says, Rebuti, a Filipino vlogger, was scammed in Sikihor. That's unusual because Sikihor has very little crime there. That's unusual. Prairie Mark, we are coming for 5 weeks in March. Yes, I have been on a little more than four. I've been on a little more than 4 years. So that's pretty good. Oh, you're coming in March? 5 weeks in March? That's good, Prairie Mark. Yeah, Prairie Mark's been one of my probably one of my longest people. There's a few others too. Simple as Lazy Larry Lee seen that. Too bad. Simple as she was scammed on buying property. That's something different. That's usually an attorney or something that probably scammed her. Sergeant USA 90 says, juicing is awesome. Way to improve your health and fix many illnesses. Just get a juicer that has 800 to 1200 watts to the most juice from produce. Tons of videos on what to juice. I actually have a juicer, and we actually use it to make carrot juice. We spent about 700 pesos on carrots for a huge bag of carrots, and we get a really, really good deal on them. If you bought them at the supermarket, man, you'd go broke because they charge like 60 pesos for 2 small carrots or something like that. It's ridiculous what they charge for a small thing of carrots. Simple seller sold her a lot that she wanted, but then actually she ended up with a lot that wasn't what she paid for. It has no right of way access. Yeah, stuff like that happens all the time in the Philippines, or the land scams and stuff like that. With condos too, because people, when you go to like a house closing or something like that, they stick a bunch of papers in front of you, and you just sign away, and your lawyer is supposed to be looking out for you sometimes. And I wonder how that happened, because when you think about it, there was an attorney there for her. She must have hired an attorney, and the other people had an attorney too. Because it takes an attorney to do a sale like that, and still yet it happened. Kirk says, "You think expats could live easily in Sikihor? Some YouTubers were showing inexpensive home rentals. You know, there's probably very inexpensive home rentals in Sikihor, but you can just go over to Dumaguete and fill up your ice box with any goods you need that are refrigerated, probably, and then just take them to your house. Or you could take I think the way to do it over there would be to um, fill your car up with whatever you need and take the ferry over. And that'd be the way to do it. Prairie Mark says, my wife has her 60th birthday in March, big blowout at fancy resort. Yeah, my girlfriend is next weekend. So many of her 75 cousins will likely show up, and the SWAT team she worked with always show up in their armored car. Okay. So, Sergeant USA 90, pineapple, apple, and carrots is an awesome. For actually, carrots are very sweet. They do mix well with apple and probably apple too. Sizzles Kirk, yes, you could live there, but you better be in good health, as there is no good medical in those places for quick needs. That's the truth about Sikihor. You have to, and if it's something fast, or you're having a stroke or a heart attack, you're dead. So that's the sad part about CQRs. Sai says, you mentioned Alabang a lot today. Why did you choose to live in Tracy and Martirez instead of Alabang? I mean, if I was to come back here again, I'd still choose Tracy Martirez. I mean, Alabang would probably be one of my second choices. Um, Sikihor is definitely a place I would consider. It's just that the medical stuff. It's a place where I'd like to go more, you know, for sure. But there is its point too. Alabang, as much as I like Alabang, I like Tracy. I like the place that I live here. This house, it gives me more money to go places and do things because I'm paying low rent and I live in a nice house. A lot of people might not like this house. I mean, I've showed it several times. To me, this is my home. Um, I could have went to gated communities many times. Matter of fact, there's a vlogger up in Thailand saying people that was jealous of his house, and it's like the least. There's no truth to that at all. I mean, I could care less about that place. I don't like gated communities. Um, so you mentioned, let's see, Simple says like cost. That's part of it is the cost, but it's also cleaner air here. Um, this is where I formed my expat community, so I like to stick around here because a lot of expats here and a lot of people I know. PP Conroy Private School, where we send our daughter, is San Lorenzo Makati. Recommend Assumption School. Kevin Hoffert, Alabang sounds good. Alabang is like Houston or place like that. And the bike trails there make a huge difference. But there's bike trails also up near Elevator too, because there's a quite sizable community up there to ride their bikes. Chuck Jumer, why did they close Baguio Airport? I'm not sure. I'm not really that up on Baguio. Richard Stewart, thanks for all your help your channel brings, especially to U.S. living here in the Philippines. Let's see. There you go. Have a nice day is on board here. He says, I had a bike accident in Sikihor 3 weeks ago. He tries to clean my extensive road rash and told me to go to Dumaguete to get it cleaned properly. Sikihor had no AC and some bugs all over. I didn't see that where I was. Some bugs. I mean, I stayed at Cocoa Grove and no bugs, and they had AC. I think it depends on where you stay there. Neil F. Williams, they have a lot of resorts, and almost all the resorts have AC. You can walk anywhere. I have walked places most people wouldn't dare. I have walked Zapote, Alabang Road, all the way to Zapote, Global South Vista to SM City, Sucat. Today I was walking down NAIA Road. Mugsville, I think you can get a more honest relationship in the West than in the PH. I'm not so sure about that. It's hard with the women back home, even with the women that have come from other places and other countries and live in the U.S. now, because I think they pick up on the bad habits there, and it seems like a lot of guys go through more divorces back there than probably here. You know, Simple says here in New Valley have many bike trails and bike park. Prairie Mark says Filipinos are so efficient. I have married my wife when she had two sons. They both have wonderful jobs in computers and technology. One in Dubai, one right across the street from us in Iowa. Um, I'll say this about Filipinas is there's something about a Filipino when you meet the right one, you know you got the right one. And I mean, another thing I can say about Filipinos is it can change on a dime. Just like that, they can switch gears. And I was watching a TV show. It was on Netflix that my girlfriend was watching about this Asian lady. She wasn't a Filipino, but also there's been several Filipinos on it. People that have murdered other people. It was a crime story. How mean they were. I mean, one of them was sticking a gun to a guy's head, saying, "You're gonna give up, our daughter, and you're gonna sign all the papers, or else, aren't you?" And what are you gonna say when you got a gun to your head? And later on, the girl ended up hiring somebody to murder somebody. So I think that was part of. There was a lot of weird stuff going on, and the court figured out that she was a liar because they caught her in several lies and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, that's the stuff that happens a lot with Filipinas, and you read about that back home sometimes about murders and stuff like that of people that took back Filipinas back to the States. And I'm not saying all Filipinos are like that. They're not. Otherwise, we wouldn't be over here. But I'm saying there are some people, and I've gone through hell over here myself, and in several occasions, and most of the guys that have been over here have too. So it's scary. Sinful says, Kirk, yes, that airport always sketchy. Um, if you find if you find right one, you're lucky. That's true. Michael is on board here. We're about to check out in about 8 minutes here. There you go. Have a nice day. I mean, the hospital had no AC. Okay, and bugs everywhere. Well, I mean, you got, let's see, three people in bed sitting at the main entrance outside the hospital. That's even around here at the hospitals. Some hospitals, not in Dasma, but there's a hospital near me. I wouldn't want to go there. Let's see. Early Mark says, if you're looking for a wife, Philippines, I say watch their mother for a couple of years first. Michael Lee, hey Larry. Yeah, this it's funny with hospitals the way they are around here because some hospitals are good for certain things. There's a Korean hospital down here. I went to them for physical therapy, and they were very reasonable and very cheap. It was 250 pesos for physical therapy for about an hour. Where else can you get that for physical therapy? Now, would I want to check into that same hospital for something else? Not. But their physical therapy was great. Let's see, simple as Mugsville. I never experienced that. My wife's family very good. Let's see, Sai, how far is Tracy Martinez from an international airport? We're about maybe an hour and 15 minutes away from Manila Airport. So that's not that bad at all. I mean, you guys probably just heard my bug zapper go off. I don't know if that or not. That's the bug zapper making that popping noise. It just goes to show you that those things do pay off having that in your house. It keeps the house totally bug free, and it plugs into a USB, and it doesn't give off a lot of light, but they're attracted to that. Whatever it is, that light, it attracts them. It's a purple color. Kind of interesting. Simple says he has 3 malls within 5 to 10 minutes. Soon to be fourth, LOL. let's see, it's about quarter to 11 right now. We're in about almost an hour and 30 minutes right now. So I think we're going to end up calling it in about 2 or 3 minutes, guys. We're going to go off. But I want to thank you guys, first of all. Um, Let me read Michael Lee here first. Hey, Steve, my Taylor GS mini guitar came in today. I'm looking forward to playing and finally learning alternate picking. It's been several years since I picked up the guitar. Huh. I'm actually taking a guitar course on Udemy, and it cost me 599 pesos. And um, he's a fairly good teacher, but there's a more advanced course on there from beginner to pro. And I want to say it's 799. And I mean, think about that, beginner to pro. So that sounds pretty good. Constantine shows a spider on here. And Sinful says, thanks for all the good chat tonight. Mugs Bill, Sinfuls, you're lucky, but a lot of foreigners here aren't. I think a lot of YouTube is mislead people to the reality of this country. That's one thing I don't mislead people here. I tell them like it is, and some people get pissed off at me about that, saying that I put down the Philippines. No, I show everything. I tell the good and the bad. Prairie Mark says, thanks for the live stream, Steve. Always good. And R. Alexander Jones, thanks for the live chat. Guys, we will be on probably next Saturday. Okay. I'm pretty sure we will be on next Saturday. We weren't on last week, but I'm going to try to be on next Saturday. But if we're not, just tune in the week after, okay? In case something comes up. Neil Williams, Casimilo, I meant corrected. Kirk says, thanks, Steve. Thanks, guys, and thank you for joining us tonight. And we will see you probably in another week, guys. And we got some good content coming out this week too. So be sure to check out our content, guys. God bless. Take care. And I want to thank Sinfuls and Michael for helping us tonight with moderating. So thanks, guys.